What's up guys, CryptoYGO, we're back with another video. I'm here today with Johnny. We're continuing the series Player Behind the Cards. So we have a small interview for Johnny, a couple of questions. You guys all know Johnny from playing Rescue Ace and Abyss Actor. That's actually, you played, that's true. Alright, so Johnny, let's start this off. When did you start with Yu-Gi-Oh?
Started originally as a kid, I think as a lot of us did, but I kind of got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Around like just before Dragon Ruler format, and then a little bit after, but then I actually started playing physically real cards around 2017, kind of during the height of Zoo format.
Basically, as same as
casual
mine.
player.
Yeah,
So,
same as mine.
you know, I wasn't playing any Zoo at the time, I was playing
Oh,
like
okay.
Odd Eyes Dragons and stuff, but we caught up eventually to the rest of the game.
Alright. What's your all-time favorite deck?
All-time favorites probably Orcust, because it was a deck that really kind of got me into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And where I saw some real like success and stuff. I got like my first regional top stuff, getting second place with Striker Orcust. So I've just always loved the deck. It's kind of
Strike Orcus was really fun to play.
once Harp is back, I'll give it another whirl. Is the deck still good? Absolutely not.
No.
But
Even if we get Harp Aura back, I don't see that deck
do
come back.
much.
What's your all-time favorite archetype or archetype or whatever you want to call it?
favorite archetype is Odd Eyes Dragons were the ones that kind of got me into modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Where like
Okay.
I saw the pendulum mechanic, was like, I'm gonna figure this out, and then Konami kept releasing. It was a great time while I was a casual player. They just kept releasing new Performer Pals, new Odd Eyes, new mages, magicians and stuff. But they're all pennies.
Yeah.
I was a broke college student, but I could afford to play those cards.
All right. What is your biggest misbuy ever, Yu-Gi-Oh card-wise?
Biggest miss. Oh, there's been a few of them. We bought some Gizmek Ukas when they were expensive in Secret Rares. Because everyone was like, oh, summon Water Statue. It'll stop the Hulk of Vibrax. Well, there we go for that one. Probably the biggest one recently is I bought all the Shizu stuff semi-early. So not like...
Same as me.
Not 40 each, but
Yeah.
like maybe 5, 6, 8 euro
Yeah.
pop, and then they're...
I actually bought them for 40 each. Okay, I know. According to you, what should be on the ban list?
should be on the ban list. I think the obvious ones right now are Eradicators, obviously. I think a lot of the kind of lingering Floodgate cards kind of just make for non-games, game 2 and 3. Like things like I got Droll playing Dark World earlier today, which I deserved it, I was playing Dark World. You know, it's just a card that completely stops the deck, but there was no game involved in it, unfortunately. I mean, for the current format, obviously Cash is still around. I don't think the deck needs to be hit particularly hard, honestly. I think it's going to kind of die a natural death in the coming months, but I still think Cash is probably the strongest.
I think
deck
other
in
decks
Pulse
will just be power craps, I think. According to you, what should be off the ban list?
Off the ban list, there's a ton of cards. Like I'd argue like 40-50% of the cards on the ban list could come back and see zero play.
Yeah.
So there's obvious ones like Harp Power. Would Colossus come back? Yeah, it'd come back and get engine in some decks, but I don't think
There are
the
too
best
many
deck.
meta-relevant staples right now that could just kill that deck. Rogue or meta? You have to choose one.
Oh, meta. Like, my big passion is to take a jank deck and play it in a competitive scene and do well with it. But if I can only play one ever again in the future, I'll stick with meta. But I like to take the jank, make it work against the meta, and play that.
Okay, so it's Rogue basically then.
I like Rogue, but I am a meta player.
Okay.
It's things like if I'm actually trying to win, I will play meta. But for locals, like events like this, I'll definitely play Rogue.
Okay.
It's fun.
What does Yu-Gi-Oh mean to you?
It's one of probably the hobby I spend the most time and stuff on. I have other hobbies outside of Yu-Gi-Oh as well, but it's the one I always come back to. It's little things like if I'm just at the computer doing nothing, maybe a quick test game here or there on DV or something. It's always evolving. It means quite a lot, I suppose, but I try to make it not the only part of my life. Come on.
Okay. Competitive or casual?
Oh, competitive. 100%.
According to you, who's the best player at our locals that you ever played against?
No, I ain't gonna
Can-
make it.
You have to answer. Can also be multiple people.
My lawyers advised me not to answer. But
You have to.
From players who I've regularly played against and have always had extremely competitive games with, Pim, he's a player I've played a lot and I've always had good games against. Like Jens and stuff, I've always had competitive games. Yourself, obviously.
Thank you.
I think there's just a lot of like high-skilled players at this locals, which is nice.
Yeah.
But there's also other locals then where they get even more sweaty and stuff. Like there will be casual decks around here and stuff. So it's really hard to say who is the best.
Alright.
Consult the Konami rankings.
Which player, according to you, can learn a couple of more stuff? So not specifically call him a bad player, but like could improve more.
So it's a bit of a weird one. I think the supplies obviously catch all.
And our
kind of-
locals, and our
I will
locals.
pick a name, but I feel like a lot of players don't keep up to date really with what other decks actually do. Like they hear Vlad and they go, yes, I trapped it, but that's where their knowledge of the deck ends. And I think the biggest part of Yu-Gi-Oh isn't knowing what your deck does; it's knowing what other people's decks do, and then how you can play around that. So I think that's a big lesson that a lot of players can do. They'll focus on their deck, they'll make it the best they can, and then they play against something vaguely rogue. Like Watchers, how many of you guys know what the Rescue Ace cards do?
So-
You're going to want to learn pretty quick.
Say a name. Say a name.
Als jij mij stopt,
Saying
dan ga ik er weer Dragon ingooien. Je wint
Can be
niet.
also someone who's on there right now.
I forget his name, but the man I was playing earlier today on Generator, he's heart and soul into
Remy.
the deck. Yeah, Remy. Definitely really good with the deck, but I definitely saw a lot of lines where there could be a lot of improvements still to be made. I think it kind of comes with knowing how your cards can interact with your other cards in weird ways. Like I was showing off how you can use Levitin's own effect while skills drain is up because it trades for cost. It's no longer on field, attach whatever you need, and little things like that, you know?
All right, best locals.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Baby, we know it. We all know it.
Exactly. Bonus question. What does Pot of Greed do?
That's the Rexka draw. I think it's that like draw spell or something.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen it since like 2004. I can't remember.
Okay. Well, Johnny, thank you for your time and for this interview. It was really nice. And yeah, Johnny, Crippled YGO, saying out. Peace!